Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I'll be discussing what I thought of that fantastic episode of AMC's Fear the Walking Dead. So much happened tonight, we got so much to talk about. Before I go on and continue, of course, please be warned that this is a spoiler-filled episode review. If you're not caught up by Fear the Walking Dead by this episode or the past couple episodes, do not keep watching or listening as I will be going into spoilers, so you have been warned. That being said, spoilers from here on out starting now. This was a fantastic episode. We had a rich, talented cast of ragtag characters all dealing with their own personal problems and while struggling to survive. And it was just so character driven and it was so exciting. It was just very, very enjoyable. You know, I've enjoyed the past couple episodes, but this one is by far my favorite of the second half of this season so far. I feel like the next final 3 episodes are going to be pretty big in terms of storytelling and scale, so I'm very excited for that. But wow, what an episode. I mean, I had 2 of my all-time favorite characters on this show. I had one of them who's been on the show since season 1, Victor Strand, and the other one who's only been on this season so far, and hopefully into next season and for the rest of the series, John Dory. These 2 were stuck together and had formed some kind of bond, if not close friendship, at least respect for one another. And it's like 2 of my favorite characters had screen time together. I mean, it could not have been more perfect for me. Like, as a fan of this show, but more specifically as a fan of these 2, it's like, this was awesome. And it's like, what was so interesting is that they're both so different in contrast to one another, where John was hopeful, optimistic, and confident, where Strand was kind of taking a seat on the back burner. He was trying to drink his despair and sorrows away. I mean, he had every reason to, of course, but so did John. But John had a reason to keep going, where he had June and other people he cared about wanting to get back to, where Strand probably feels like after the death of Madison, he feels like there's nobody left for him. So, you know, it was interesting to see these 2 kind of clash, not violently, but clash philosophically almost. I mean, and then for a while there, John was able to convince Strand to finally get off his ass and help him to try to get across the pond with that scary-ass alligator in it. By the way, that's something I really enjoyed in this episode, is that this episode reminded us that zombies and hostile survivors are not the only threats in this world. You've got nasty, unpredictable weather, and then you've also got big apex predators too. Walking Dead reminded us with Shiva, the tiger we saw the past couple seasons, and now we got a glimpse of another big apex predator, American alligator, and clearly does not discriminate when it comes to eating dead or undead flesh. So that was pretty exciting. I liked seeing those 2 get across. I love John's ingenuity and creative handyman skills and crafts to like build himself a makeshift raft, but I mostly just enjoyed the conversation and dialogue between him and Strand. That was incredible. It was really powerful stuff because it's like you had two people on opposite ends of the pole, and at times you could find them in the middle together, at other times you found them on opposite ends of the pole. I don't know how else to describe it, but that's the best way I can think to describe it. And then, like, everybody, you know, slowly reuniting with each other. The guy in the car revealing himself to be the truck driver Polar Bear, even though he doesn't call himself that. It's clearly Polar Bear. He was the truck driver. As soon as he said, I took a job that isolated me from all the people I cared about in the rest of the world, and by the time the world had ended, I realized I had lost everything. And when he talked about an isolating job, I remember, because I have a few relatives who used to be truck drivers, of what a lonely experience that can be. And I'm like, this can't be a coincidence. And sure enough, this was our truck driver that Sarah and Wendell left beside on the road. But unfortunately, I mean, it looks like he did make it for a while until that car accident caused by the hurricane did him in. But I also applaud Luciana's efforts for trying to give him a final happy resting day. And it looks like she did, for the most part, using one of his own boxes. And she's reunited with Morgan and the Allies. But god damn, that woman is scary. Super scary. Speaking of clashing philosophies. It's like, this is a perfect example of good versus evil. We got Morgan here and the nasty, filthy woman here. I think she's credited as the filthy woman, so that's what we'll call her until we know her name. Basically, Morgan is trying to save as many people as he can, and he's all about making people stronger. Well, where this woman believes people become stronger when they become walkers, and clearly those two ideologies are going to clash, both morally and physically, as we saw in her assault on the truck. Hopefully everybody's okay. We'll just have to tune in next week to find out, won't we? Fantastic episode. Really enjoyed it. I can't wait to watch this one again. I sincerely enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe to this channel for more episode reviews like this one and more great content. Have a great rest of the night. Fear the Walking Dead has 3 more episodes left this season. You can check them out in the next couple weeks with new episodes every Sunday night on AMC. Don't miss it. Have a wonderful rest of the night, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.